The Epiphany, a revelation beyond boundaries. The Epiphany, often celebrated as the revelation of Christ to the Gentiles through the Magi's journey, beckons us into profound theological reflection. This sacred moment, recorded in the Gospel of Matthew, illuminates the boundless nature of God's grace and the eternal pursuit of divine truth. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." Matthew chapter 2:2. The Magi, foreigners led by celestial light, represent humanity's yearning for salvation beyond cultural or national boundaries. This divine star, piercing the veil of darkness, symbolizes Christ as the true light that gives light to everyone. John chapter 9. The Magi's gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, are rich in symbolism. Gold, emblematic of royalty, proclaims Christ as the eternal King, fulfilling the prophecy. "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders." Isaiah chapter 9:6. Frankincense, a fragrance used in worship, declares his divinity and priestly role, as foretold in Malachi. Then the offerings of Judah and Jerusalem will be pleasing to the Lord, as in days gone by. Malachi 3:4. Myrrh, a burial spice, foreshadows the sacrificial death of the Messiah. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. Isaiah chapter 53:5. Yet, the Epiphany is not solely about the gifts, but the act of homage itself. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Matthew 2:11. This act reveals a universal truth. Encountering Christ demands a response of worship, a surrender to his lordship, and a transformation of heart. As Paul writes, "Therefore God exalted him to the highest place, and gave him the name that is above every name." Philippians 2:9. The Magi's journey also signifies the pilgrimage of faith, marked by trust and perseverance. Guided by a star yet warned in a dream to avoid Herod, they adapted their path, embodying the principle that we live by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Their obedience underscores the importance of heeding God's guidance, even when it leads to uncharted territory. In contrast, Herod's reaction, one of fear and hostility, serves as a stark reminder of human resistance to divine sovereignty. When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. Matthew 2:3. This resistance reflects the spiritual battle waged within every heart. As Paul describes, "For the flesh desires what is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit what is contrary to the flesh." Galatians 5:10. The Epiphany thus calls us to a higher vision. It invites us to seek Christ with the earnestness of the Magi, to offer the treasure of our lives in worship, and to walk the path illuminated by his light. For, as Isaiah prophesied, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Isaiah 60:1. In this sacred story, we are reminded of the inclusivity of God's love. The Magi, representing nations beyond Israel, fulfill the psalmist's vision. May all kings bow down to him, and all nations serve him. Psalm 72:11. Their journey foreshadows the Great Commission, where Christ commands, "Therefore go and make disciples of all nations." Matthew 28:19. The Epiphany beckons us to reflect on the mysteries of divine revelation. In the Christ child, the fullness of God's love is made manifest. As John declares, "The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth." John 1:14. This day is not merely a commemoration of an event long past, but a living testament to the ever-present reality of God's revelation in our lives. It reminds us that Christ's light continues to guide seekers from every corner of the world, breaking down barriers and uniting humanity under the banner of divine love. As we celebrate the Epiphany, we are called to renew our own pilgrimage of faith. Let us reflect on the journey of the Magi and ask ourselves, are we following the light with the same devotion? Are we offering the treasures of our hearts in full surrender? And most importantly, are we allowing the radiance of Christ to transform our lives? Let us, therefore, gaze upon the Christ child with hearts wide open, allowing his light to dispel our darkness and guide us into everlasting peace. For in him we see not only the fulfillment of ancient prophecies, but the eternal promise of redemption for all who seek him. God's Word in a blink.